DRS. My opinion on DRS will always be the same. Um, every race driver has always thought about having a computer-controlled air management system for downforce. That's every race driver would think. If I had a computer that could read tire temperature, track conditions, if I had a car that was smart enough to adjust my front and rear wing the way I wanted to for my driving style, man, I could really go fast. Well, I think you should let them have that. But my thing is, every driver should have it, and they should be able to use it whenever they want. There shouldn't be any DRS zone. As far as I'm concerned, that is race management, racing as a business, interfering in driver skill. By giving someone an advantage over another person, regardless of if you think it makes the sport better because people can pass more, right? You have to either let them use it as a technology to make the cars all faster, or get rid of it altogether. That's my opinion on DRS. As it sits right now, I see it as bullshit and not good for racing in any way. Okay? Let the drivers decide. Make sure that they, you want them to adhere to the rules, of course. But it's just a gag. It's a gag bag. It's not real. It doesn't, it's like if everybody had to run on Goodyears instead of Pirellis, I'd be okay with that. As long as every driver is operating under the same conditions and has the opportunity to operate under the same conditions, that is called automotive competition. It's not time trials, okay? Qualifying is a big part of Formula One. We all know that, okay? I don't like the sprint races. Qualifying is part of Formula One, and I think it should stay. But could you imagine what the times would be like if they could use active aero? Now, everyone else, again, okay, you write your own software, you build your own, just like you do now, okay? And I'm sure they would all be different, they would all function differently, but just let them do it. Instead of saying, okay, well, yeah, we're going to have this cheat device that you get to open so we have more passing because we've made the sport unbearably fucking boring. Because there's no passing going on, there's no competition, there's no racing. Well, that's management's fault. Just like the NHRA, I've been talking about them for years. They can't draw a tenth of the audience that Street Outlaws draws. Number one, Street Outlaws, if you win something there, you're actually getting more money than a Top Fuel team at an NHRA event. It's all about advertising, which is why every car has a name that's the name of their advertiser. And you get a breathless interview where they say the advertiser's name as many times as possible, and off you go. Someone who's had an NHRA license basically his whole fucking life for the last 50 years, I stopped watching drag racing because it just got to the point where, I'm sorry, it's not anything I'm interested in anymore. Formula One was getting that way, and I made quite a few videos saying, I'm about to give Formula One up. I'm going to go watch Formula 3 and international go-kart and things like that. I'm going to get away from Formula One because it was just getting to be like, okay, here comes Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton goes by. Okay, see you guys later. Race over. Watch the highlights on YouTube. It was really sucked. It's better the last 2 years since they changed the car. That should really ring a bell in their heads. There should be a flag man up there right now going like this, okay? Look what we did. We made the cars easier to pass one another, and look what happened. Now, I can guarantee you that from race to race and track to track, that just like suspension setup, active aero packages would be exactly the same way. They would have a software package for Spa. They'd have a software package for Brands Hatch. You know what I mean? They'd have software packages for all the varying different tracks. Suzuka would have one. They would all have one. And I'd be okay with that because it would promote passing. You want to save your tires? You could achieve that with active aero. You want to go faster, and you want to brake harder. All that works with active aero, and you let all the teams just use it, or you make them static surfaces. Done, so that it's not designed around the ability to open it up. It's designed as a solid piece. Oh shit! What a bummer. He's burning up. Ah. That sucks. Oh shit, he's on fire big time. So, yeah, DRS, I don't know. I just can't. No, I cannot. I just can't see it. For me, it looks like a cheat device because that guy got ahead of you. Now, you don't have to work your way around him. You get to just drive around him. Oh, that's a pass? That's a pass? Because you get to just drive around the guy because you get DRS because you're within 1 second of him. And now all of a sudden that gives you the right to go by him basically automatically, especially tracks with longer straightaways. I'm sorry. Okay, that's bullshit. That guy in front of you deserved that 1 second lead or a 0.8 or a 0.5, whatever it is. He earned it over you, and you need to get it back fair and square, not like, okay, my wing's open and now I'm going to have 30 miles per hour on you at the end of the straight. No, it's bullshit. Either it's all or nothing. All or nothing. Give him, let him change the tire. Change how the undercarriage of the car is. Make the cars better for passing, not worse. I understand controlling speed because, I know that speed kills. It does. Speed is energy, and energy is not easy on the human body. So I'm all for safety. I'm all for making the cars stronger. You know what I mean? But you have to stop limiting them power plant wise. You see how few power plant builders we have, right? So you got a $10 million engine in your car. Well, I think that's fucking bullshit. Okay, because you could build an engine. You could build 25 engines that would have as much horsepower. They wouldn't last as long, okay? But that would take away some of this engine builder crap that's been going on for quite a few years now. I would like to see 15 people making engines. I'd like to see Rotax making engines for Formula One cars. I'd like to see a V8 two-stroke, a V10, a V12. You tell them here's the parameters for your motor. It has to be this much weight. And you go the opposite direction of Formula One. You make the engine a big clunky, heavy piece of metal, and that would open the door to all kinds of innovation. When you tell them the engine, when the engine has to be incredibly light and still make 1,000 horsepower, you know what I mean? When it weighs as much as two Hayabusa motors stuck together and it's making 1,000 horsepower, the tolerances, the sheer number of people involved with making sure that everything is exactly as it's supposed to be is where the cost is at. You eliminate that. That you got crate motors, right? Crate motors, and you can run a blower, you can run twin turbos, you can do whatever you want. No, management comes in and says, "Oh no, you have to have this," and as soon as they do that, there goes the cost right through the fucking ceiling. I would love to hear a V12 out there, a V10, right? and just let the teams run whatever motor they want to run, okay? But it has to weigh at least this much. At least this much. And that's how you make passing possible, because every weekend someone shows up with a new rig. Boom, we have passing.